It's another episode of Circle of Trades. I'm Todd Studer, and it is Travis Waldstein, Aire, Serv Heating and Air Conditioning, and Waldstein Plumbing. Good to see you, sir. Also, I don't know that we've recorded one since we both got to sit and watch the Hawkeyes pull out a great win over Vanderbilt in the ReliaQuest Bowl, which to me was one of the better games that were played the whole bowl season.
It was, but it was a good game. Enjoyed it. But lots of football last couple of weeks. Excited about how the season ended. For the most part, pretty excited about the transfer portal, except for Cornette Ettinger. But you win Sunday.
Somebody threw a lot of money at him.
Oh yeah, probably Michigan. Yeah. Michigan. Hey, you can't be Michigan without them cheating. So
there you go.
Got blamed on something. So. But,
we are now fully into 2026. Been doing much reflecting on how everything went over the last year and where things are headed this year.
Yeah, I have been, honestly. From a personal perspective, no, not really. I mean, I like the Apple commercial. Have you seen the one that says most people's New Year's resolutions are over by January 9th? Guess what? Mine was over January 1. I didn't make a resolution.
I didn't either.
I love that commercial. It's like, yep.
Yeah. New Year's resolutions are, in my personal opinion, a waste of time, because if you want to do something, just do it. You don't need some day to say it, because there's no difference between December 31st and January 1st.
Yeah, except if you're the government,
Well, that's true.
There is that part.
That is true.
And by the way, New Year's is the most, except for football, it's the most overrated holiday ever. If it wasn't for the football part, I'd say we could work New Year's Day. It wouldn't bother me a bit. So
I figured you were going to put Valentine's Day there.
Nah, I got married on Valentine's Day. I got to be careful with that one.
Okay, that's fair.
I totally screwed up prom when I was in high school. So Valentine's Day is when we got married. Listen, I might not be the sharpest crayon in the box, but I know which ones to not touch. And Valentine's Day, because it's her birthday, my wife's birthday that week, Valentine's Day, and then my birthday's 2 weeks later. Yeah, I get bombarded in the end of February, early March with that stuff. So I just know that is, my rite of passage. So
it was a lot of years ago, and I was 100%. On my own, didn't have anybody in that way in my life. And somebody just sent me a text on February 14th that said, Happy Singles Awareness Day. And I thought, that makes a lot of sense, because you never feel more single than on Valentine's Day.
I can see someone with Viagra and a pair of blue balls.
Oh, it wasn't that bad, no.
There you go. There's what I'm talking about. So... No, I mean, back to kind of early part of the business perspective. So we'll get off me totally being a smart ass here. Lots of reflecting, to be honest. What we did in 2025, it really started that probably in early December. Looking at stuff. It's like anything, hindsight's 2020. We all know that, but it's not so much, okay, can't go back and fix the past, but what can you do to adjust the future? So, number of service calls, billing averages, replacements, new construction stuff, the plumbing side, what we're doing there. And, we're still developing processes for the plumbing side to track numbers, because, I have a love-hate relationship with my franchises, everybody knows, but
we know.
But there are some good points to my franchise, and there's some tracking stuff that they've refined over the years, and so we're trying to duplicate that on the plumbing side. But it was a good year for both companies. But really looking going forward, and it's not big changes. You're probably, from a customer perspective, you're not going to see a whole lot per se, but but from in our office's perspective, how we interact with the public, how we interact with, my technicians and my installers. We're looking for an operations manager. It's kind of gotten to the point, and it's out on Facebook. With, how do I want to describe it? And this is part of the reflection of business. We have CSRs, which are really good. We have technicians that I think are good. But, there's also an accountability part of it. There's tracking, making sure stuff gets done. And our business kind of got to a point to where I can't stay on top of everything. If I could, I would. It's just, there's just a lot of stuff going on between the
No,
HVAC.
let me pause you here for a second, Travis. Was that a hard thing to accept for yourself? I mean, because I know you have pretty good tight reign over everything that's going on, so you know exactly what's happening. So saying that and then bringing somebody into that position, to me, that this is a really big move for you.
It is, and I had a friend of mine, and I have some friends at Neighborly, but his name is Brandon Bushy, that told me 2 years ago that you need an ops manager. I'm like, you're full of it. Of course, me being me, uh, and you kind of get to a point to where you want to hit the next obstacle, but at a point when you start becoming the obstacle, then you have to make changes. It is no different than when listen. My background is a service tech. I can run service calls at this point, probably not like I used to, but I can run service calls. But when it got to a point to where I was losing money because I'm running service calls, then okay, had to drop that, and installs, and am I even in the field anymore? My son, and my lead technician Justin got mad at me 3 years ago, and they said, "Dad," or Travis, whatever this is, they said, "We're tired of you coming out and you get mad because of stuff we're not doing and blah 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 blah. You don't carry the tools and this and that." They said, "Please get out of the field." I said, "Okay, well, if I'm not taking call, don't bitch at me because you're working, whatever." And so that was the conversation. But your business had to evolve. And so, for growth, you want to be able to manage things. You want to make sure that things are getting done correctly or the way you want to do it. And so, yeah, it is a big move. But, if we want to continue to develop and evolve and provide for our customers, that's part of what you have to take a look at. And listen, it doesn't have to be a yes person. It doesn't have to be Travis Jr. or, Travis's brother or whatever. I mean, there is no brother, like I said, my Hayden's running the plumbing side, so he don't have time to come over on the HVAC side. But you need somebody that, they don't have to necessarily be a service guy, but somebody that's got a background in construction, preferably, that understands development, growth, processes, and a little bit of accountability. And maybe if I'm too busy to go to certain functions, in the community, which I'd like to do more of, frankly. And that's one of the reasons I kind of want that role. So listen, if I want to go to a Kiwanis meeting, or heaven forbid you talk me into going to a Masonic Lodge meeting, I, you know what I'm saying. But be more the face of the community. But
Yeah.
so I still want to do that. I enjoy the commercial estimate. I do enjoy the commercial project stuff. So I probably won't give that up soon. Eventually, I might, but there are certain things I'm good at, and there's certain things that I need people to help me keep an eye on. So it is a big move, but if I want to take the next step, I had to really look at it. But I until I'm proven I'm wrong, I'm going to get you with what I know, and now I've admitted, we need to make changes. Now 24 or 25. Listen, the second half of 25 was kind of tough. We know the economy is not great, on some aspects, but you can't let a less than perfect economy stop you from running your business. You can start blaming a lot of things and tell me what you can't do, but it's like, okay, if you're not willing to make changes or adjust or adapt, I mean, it's no different than what you do, Todd.
You're spot on about that. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to adapt. I mean, and if you don't adapt, then that's where you're going to have a problem. So that's part of the thought process. I'm excited. Right now we can, at a time to where we can implement some processes, maybe bring on a couple people, other people, just field techs or another CSR. But I think me trying to find a good operations person that can help me run the day to day and some accountability, and have people like Justin, who's a really good tech, out running service calls and not necessarily being a paper pusher in the office, because he's a lot better technician than he is a paper pusher at this point, and understand what people's strengths are and what they like to do.
Are you looking at this then for just strictly the HVAC side, or is it a combo HVAC plumbing deal?
Right now, it's probably going to be just the HVAC side.
Okay.
What it'll allow me to do is help Hayden on the plumbing side too, of things, to where I got somebody helping me here.
Mhm.
So then I can, help him. But, eventually that role might develop into the plumbing side. There might be facets that they help with, you know, and they'll probably be involved with the plumbing side on the customer service side, answering the phones and that kind of stuff, and maybe some with scheduling too. So if to make sure that people get taken care of, people get called back, estimates are getting done or followed. So that it might naturally evolve into that they are working some with their plumbing side too, if you know what I'm saying. So,
Well, tell me how you're reaching out to him now, because I'm assuming that you've got a target date. So you're going to be accepting resumes, accepting applications and stuff for a while. So, I mean, do you have a time frame that you're looking to make all of this happen?
Not necessarily. I mean, sooner the better. Sooner the better.
But you also want to make sure the right person is sitting in that chair.
Yeah, I'm not. It's not. I'd rather take an extra 2 weeks and have it be the right decision,
Mm-hmm.
and not a quick decision, if you know what I'm saying. So,
I think that you should get a lot of interest in this. I mean, seriously, you're one of the top guys in town that is doing this type of thing, and if someone is looking at this is the type of thing in their wheelhouse, I think not only just locally, I think you may actually get some interest outside of town too.
yeah, no, we've got a few resumes so far. We just posted on Facebook a couple days ago, so we've got a few. And like I said, whether it's a guy, gal, like I said, I don't have, so you know what I'm saying. So I think it's going to kind of be, what is the best person? Like I said, they don't have to necessarily be, know everything about HVAC per se, so it's like I said, it's a position. It's kind of what I call the glue of the company. That person that can come in and I guess I'll say Ronald Reagan, the great communicator, can make sure all pieces are working together and talking, and and making sure that things are getting done and we're not dropping the ball, and that kind of stuff, if that makes sense. So,
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, I think, as I said, this is a big move for you, and it's encouraging and exciting all at the same time. I mean, this is a big deal of what it is that you're doing and graduating your business, and you stepping out of that chair. Just the same way that you have stepped out of others as well. This shows growth. This shows an indication for your company, and also, I would argue, for the area of which you're working in, because you have growing companies that has created this need.
Yeah, well, yeah. Here's the deal with the trades right now. There's, listen, there's a lot of need. There's not enough people to do it. There's a lot of growth going on. I was talking to a gal at Fire Spring this morning. Their son is 19 years old. He's working for another plumbing company in town, which are a good company. I've got no issue with that. He was going to be an electrician. He's working as a plumbing apprentice right now. I said, you know what? That's fantastic. There's needs, and to be able to service the needs, if you're going to grow or develop, you have to have people, and you have to have processes in place. If you don't have them in place, and that's where, and that's what we want to be very careful and cognizant of. So like I said, I'm excited about it. So we'll see what happens. You never know. Hopefully the first one I hit out of the ballpark, but you never know. But here's what I know: you can't fail if you don't try. Yeah. I mean, the 300 hitter baseball strikes out 7 times. You know what I'm saying? And not the, but if you don't try, you're never going to hit the ball out of the ballpark. So, so
Yeah, my favorite one is you will miss every single putt that you leave short.
Listen, I use my wood as a putter. So.
I tried to go with I tried to do 2 holes with nothing but a 7-iron one time, including putting.
It can be done. So
it can be done, not very well, but it can.
If I could play golf with a baseball bat and just throw the ball up and hit it, I'd be fantastic. But they seem to have rules against doing that. So,
well, I know, because you are a power hitter. It's it's obvious. You're not built for speed. You got to hit it deep.
No, you gotta hit deep. Because I'm not getting no triples. I'll be looking to get a double. Like Schwarber. Like I said, singles and home runs. That's all we care about. So
yeah, it's either over the fence or you're trying to beat it out to first, but that's it.
Yeah. It's been kind of interesting though from a business perspective, and I'd be curious to hear what other people are saying we're hearing. But we've been hearing a lot of I don't want to say gloom and doom, but second half of the year with the economy and stuff. And listen, I'm not going to lie, there's been some rough patches with the economy in the second half of this year. But I don't know, right after Christmas, we got busy and the new year hit. And frankly, we've actually been, knock on wood, actually, halfway, and the weather's been warm. It's in the 50s. We're 57 on July 7th or January 7th. The Council Plus I was just unheard of.
Yep. It's everywhere, by the way, too. I mean, they're setting records in Colorado right now.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Don't worry, we'll have snow next week. So, which is,
I'm sure.
But no, it's kind of surprising. It's like right at the end of the year, first part of this year kind of started off with a bang, which I'm not complaining about. I mean, it's kind of like, so I feel like there's some stuff going on to where, if we get through the holidays and get through first quarter, but I think there's maybe some signs that even with first quarter that things are starting to, evolve or take off. You know what I'm saying? So, pretty excited about that. With that going on, I mean, and just talking to guys, I mean, when it's in the 50s, we're doing underground work right now. Usually you're done doing underground work, no one's pouring concrete. One of the builders work with, he's pouring basements right now. So he's gonna be building houses all winter long. And it's kind of like going, usually by this time of year, you've got the heaters on and you're trying to tarp over, everything's closed in and you're not doing anything until March 1st. So, so it's, that part is kind of exciting. I'm actually looking forward to see what's going to happen in 2026. I mean, obviously in the community, we got a new mayor in town. We got obviously the county board said president deals at least settled for the time being. So, like it or not like it, hopefully maybe there could be some normalcy on some of the stuff that's going on here.
All right, it's my turn to knock on wood. Well, I'm shaking the whole camera, but yeah.
Way to go. So,
normalcy. Wouldn't that be great?
So, when I say normal, I don't know, maybe I should use the word controlled chaos. Maybe that's a better way to describe it. But, I don't know. It's like everything else. I am usually the first of the year, I'm kind of, but I actually feel some optimism for the first year. I've got no rhyme or reason. So, but, so no, I am, so pretty excited about where things, are at. So,
well, I'm doing the same thing. I mean, I'm looking at things in an entirely different way now than I ever did before. So maybe it's something in the water here in town that we're drinking. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, yeah, it could be. So, but I mean, you got some exciting stuff going on. I mean, this is my podcast, but I mean, you're going from being from 1 to, to 2 to 3 to 4.
Well, yeah, we've got the announcement has gone out, and we're bringing in people to host shows.
Mm-hmm.
bringing in some help to talk with some of the different businesses and organizations about sponsorship opportunities and podcasting opportunities. We are moving full steam ahead with the Council Bluffs Sports Weekly show.
Yeah.
And we have gotten confirmation from a well-known person in town that has not been on TV for a little while, but he's excited to be coming back, and that's Craig Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
And so folks in Council Bluffs know who that is. And he is going to be hosting a sports show. And we're going to do an hour-long show every week, although, you know, it's the internet, so we're not tied to 60 minutes and on the nose. It doesn't matter. And we're launching a magazine that is going to be going out quarterly. Yeah.
Wow, you got a lot of stuff. You do have a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, and everything is tied together and it's all interwoven. And we are, we take our sponsors and we make sure that they're getting touches now everywhere. So it's not just on one show. We've got a plan in place to be able to get their appearance. The people will see that name everywhere, not just on one show. We have already announced that we are launching a new show from Mills County.
Yeah.
That this is going to be not just, my local roots show is going to be rebranded. So I'll just tell you here now, we're going to tighten that down to just cover Pottawatomie County, and Mills County is going to have its own show. It's going to be hosted by local media Carlene Hall, who is now come on board with us to be able to do some of the stuff here. And we're going to call that Mills County Roots.
Mm-hmm.
We're changing the local roots to be known as Pottawatomie County Roots.
Okay.
And that way, as the need presents itself, which it's already happening, of being able to expand to other counties around Southwest Iowa, now we have similar branding all the way across the thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're, starting a local community sponsor thing, which gets everybody everywhere. It's this is what's happening here is exciting. And so when you're talking about what's going on with you there at Serv, and I'm thinking, man, there's something happening right now. And I'm not, it's a mentality to me that we just see the possibilities. You talked yourself, the economy wasn't the greatest in the second half of last year, but yet you still see the need for that. Yeah. And we've had the same thing here, that you can look and say, well, is the economy what it needs to be? I don't care. We're going.
Yeah,
we're going.
Absolutely. Well, that's it. I belong to a blue collar network group. We get together on Wednesday mornings down at SB Dogkin. Of course, Kyle Rainey was there. He was there. And then, Carly Hall, of course, I of course, being Travis, I read a little bit, says, well, no, I don't have to give you crap anymore. We're gonna and she kind of smiled. I think she wanted to talk to me for a minute afterward, but it's okay. Well, she catch up to me eventually. But no, I think it's exciting. And here's the deal. We had 25 people at that meeting this morning. There was a lot of people in there.
You had room for that many in that room up there?
Oh, it was tight. It was tight. Let me tell you, it was full house, but it was actually really good, positive energy. I didn't get out there until like 8:15 this morning talking with people, so I was actually pretty, came out of that. It's like, holy cow, So, no, it was so lots. I couldn't believe, because usually 15, 16, but and we had people clear from Bennington and, of course, Council Bluffs, Carson, Omaha, Bellevue, different industries, different trades, different, some a little bit of white collar too. So, but no, it was actually very, very positive. I think the powers that be were like surprised, like, can we fit that many more people in a room? So,
don't call the fire marshal.
Yeah. He's in Mills County. It's okay. So.
Okay.
He's not Pond County, so no. But no, lots of stuff going on. I mean, tax credits going away. It's gone now. So,
Yep.
if you want to use it, whatever. But I think there's a lot of other stuff. If you're buying for the right reasons. If you want to get stuff done now, a lot of project stuff coming up. I mean, already the you usually see stuff March and April. We're seeing it now. So, excited for what we're seeing. You, you know, um, and yes, and by the way, we're looking for a service plumber. So on the Waldstein plumbing side, so you don't have to be a journeyman, but if you got some service experience or know somebody who is looking to make a change, we could definitely
Hmm.
use a plumber that's got some service experience to join our team over there as well. So I mean, and that's just because work is not a problem. So on the plumbing side at all, it's just we need another journeyman level would be nice, but someone with experience we would take as well. So,
Yep.
but
Well,
all
we're
right,
gonna. I tell you what, I'm gonna push that out on my shows that you're looking.
yeah,
So that'll happen there. You know how I cross promote you, and I take pieces of these interviews and I put them on my own show. I've done that more than once, and I will with this too, because I think that. This is good information to get out there. I think this is you've got a really strong quality position that's available right now, and I think that it should be it's worth talking about.
yeah,
So we'll make that happen.
yeah.
And as I've already said, and I'll continue to say, it's exciting, man. I'm listening to you right now. I mean, it's energizing, and I think that optimism is always a good thing and
Mm-hmm.
with an understanding that you do have to pay attention to problems, but you got to keep your eyes on forward motion, and that's
Yeah,
exactly what you're doing.
yeah, no, absolutely. So, but no, that's what we're doing, and kind of just keep putzing away. That's all we can do.
Hmm.
So, hey, the chickens are still laying eggs. Hey, I pulled 25 eggs out of last night out of the chicken coop. So my wife was like, "There's 25 eggs in the chicken coop." I said, "Yeah, I had my hat full of chicken eggs." When they come walking
When
out.
was the last time you were out there and make sure they're not actually growing chickens inside those eggs, are
Well,
they?
listen, every day, usually you go through this multi-season, it gets cold and all. Yeah, this winter, yeah, they're out in full force. The biggest thing is they're drinking a ton of water right now. So of course
Hmm.
there's no water, there's no bugs out yet, but like I said, he was like, "Holy cow!" So, my wife don't sell eggs because she's all worried about, if someone
Hmm.
gets whatever, which I get it, but no, eggs are good. And, she's already of course, I destroyed a post on her garden, so I'll probably end up having to redo a portion of her 30 by 120 garden
Oh,
to
you're
make.
going to have to remodel the entire thing now.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. So,
Well, if you're looking at getting rid of some eggs, keep a brother in mind.
uh,
Always happy to help with that.
I got no problem with that. So, stuff going on for you this week. What kind of stuff? I mean, obviously, lots of exciting stuff. Anything going on, chamber
We
related or anything
Yeah,
like
we're
that?
busy. We're busy still finishing up studios. We've got an open house coming up next week,
Mm-hmm.
and ribbon cutting. We saw the property manager came over today, and she was talking about it, and she said, we'd like to help out with that. So because they know that they're going to get a good crowd coming through the park building to be able to
Mm-hmm.
show things off. So they're actually getting the food.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Well,
Kyle and I
good.
are just getting the drinks, and
Oh,
Pillar Management, who is they're the management company that handles the park building, they're bringing in food. So, and it's going to be kind of an all building thing as opposed to just inside of where we're at on the third floor. So that was good news.
well,
That
I'm sure they're thinking they'd like to get that filled up with tenants too. And I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff going on in that building. I mean, from
Mhm.
you guys are moving in, and I know there's different stuff been going on all levels of that building. So yeah, I 100% I can see that. So
Yeah. So it should be a good time. There's a appreciation dinner going on for as our previous mayor is now done, and some folks are throwing him a party, and they decided to schedule that same night. So we'll see how much that affects what we're doing. We actually get started earlier about an hour earlier than they do. So I'm hoping if anybody wants to do both, they can swing by here and then head over there. But, it's exciting. And we have been putting together a lot of different plans and a lot of different packages and figuring out how to provide the best value to businesses who want to be a part of that, making sure that that is first and foremost. What that is our product. How are we providing value to our clients before it's a value to us? We got to, if you're putting it in order, it has to go that direction. So that's what we've been working on, and we've come up with some great ideas. And it's this year is going to be, it's going to be big. You're going to be seeing us everywhere.
Hey, are you going to be? Hey, Council Bluffs is having a home show this weekend. Now,
I'm coming over. I'll come over.
Yeah, like I said, I gotta finish. I gotta put my promo together for that. I'm right on the ball. Let me tell you. So
yeah, you're only 3 days away. Yeah,
it's like Christmas shopping. Why go shopping before the 23rd of December? Better yet, why go shopping? Buy yourself a present. At least make one person happy.
There you go.
Oh, that's not the Christmas tree. That's what I got grandkids for. So,
Yeah, that particular home show is free. So by the time this comes out, I think the home show will be done. But I think it was a smart move to have it free. So it's not ticketed event. You can just, I'm sure you paid to be there, but but it's been a while. I think it's a good thing to have.
It's been 5 or 6 years. Building Trades used to have it here in town. And, and when I had the first 2010, 2011, 2012, the first 3 years, man, they had some really good shows. But with the internet, some changes, and it kind of died off. And Building Trades is a good organization. I've got nothing against Council Building Trades, but they just the MAC had to be pretty expensive, and then they tried moving out to the fair one year, and of course there was no heat in the barns out at West Fair, and of course they're trying to build barns out there. I haven't heard much about that lately. So
no, they've got a lot of money raised, and they're going to be starting construction out there. So yeah, there's a new community building that's going to be going in out there.
Yeah,
it serve as an indoor arena.
Yeah, well, they kind of talked to me, but they haven't officially asked me for a donation. So
you'll get asked.
Oh, I don't worry. And I says, I hear blah 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 blah. No,
seriously, I think the Travis Waldstein Memorial Men's Room, I think would be.
hey, don't worry. It's going to be like the Aire, Serv, Waldstein play restaurants where there's Husker urinal cakes in the urinals. So.
Yeah, that would do it. That would be part of it.
Is that or Dallas Cowboys or Minnesota Vikings? They might be one of them here and there. So,
no, I'm excited for everything that's coming up. Thrilled with your news. That's big. So, and I'm sure that it's going to be a growing process for you. You're going to get that person in there, and then actually doing this and letting go. That's a different deal.
I won't know what to do with myself.
I know.
I kid myself if I didn't do this, I'd farm, but I don't have enough money to farm, so I might have to find something else to do. So,
well, that's why you're raising chickens.
Hey, chickens in a garden.
Yeah, you got a new garden to put in too.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm pretty good at the manure and making compost and that kind of stuff. So
right
there you go. So,
hey, my man. Well, good episode. This is I love the positive stuff, and that's what this was. And I think I'm gonna give credit to the Hawkeyes because this all came together because we got a Hawkeye win on New Year's Eve.
It didn't hurt anything. So
no, certainly didn't.
Yeah. So no, it was all good. So, and then the Packers will hopefully beat the Bears. We'll see how well this time tells this weekend. And the Falcons, hey, the Falcons are hiring themselves a head coach eventually. So.
Yep, I'm crossing my fingers that Arthur Blank can do some magic and get John Harbaugh down there. That'd be wonderful.
Well, Arthur Blank's like 85 years old. They better hurry up and win a Super Bowl before he dies. So we'll see who wins the Super Bowl first, Jerry or Arthur. So.
Yeah,
I'd bet on Arthur.
I'm hoping we got some good guys in place. So, all right, sir. thank you for your time. Thanks for the good news, and looking forward to hearing about all the successes.
There you go. Sounds good. Talk to you soon.